Good morning, folks. This is Mr. Dan coming to you from the Landscape Design Classroom, and today I'm going to talk to you about the basic steps to creating floral arrangements. So our main idea here is how can I learn to arrange flowers in attractive displays? So beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If designing for yourself, do whatever you want. If designing to sell or as a gift, you must consider what someone else will like. Remember that whenever we are designing for other people, we need to make sure we're fitting their needs, but we can also try to put in our own spin of creativity. So the goal of commercial design, creating something that will look good to most people, creating things to sell consumers, and the market value of an arrangement is based entirely on how it will look to a potential customer. So how to achieve a marketable flower arrangement, not only for artists, flower arranging is a skill that can be learned. Artists and designers use basic design concepts for automobiles, homes, buildings, landscapes, and flower arrangements. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a design plan. Before you start, think about what you wanna create. How do you want it to look? How do you wanna use it? Where will it be displayed? What size, what shape, what colors will you see? Or will you use? What else do you need to create a well-designed arrangement that most people will find attractive? And learn the meaning of two terms, design elements and design principles. So let's jump into design elements. Consider these design elements when selecting plant material and a container. Line, texture, shape or form, size and color. And lines and shape or form must also be considered in the way the material will be put together into the arrangement. So you're thinking here in two different ways. So design principles, proportion, selecting the proper size of a container for the size of the flowers and plant materials to be used. Balance, giving the appearance of equal weight on each side of a central axis. Harmony, creating a pleasing relationship between various parts of your flower arrangement. Contrast, increasing interest with differences in size, color, and shape. And unity, making all the parts of your arrangement look as though they fit together in a single arrangement. So, planning what you want to do. Make some simple pencil sketches to try out some ideas showing the shapes you could get with various combinations of plant materials and containers. And this is a great thing to do because you don't want to just start out directly in flowers because flowers can get pretty expensive. A pen and paper is definitely a lot more inexpensive for this step. So select plant material, more than just flowers. Flowers are the main focus. Foliage can add contrast and create interest. Consider contrasting colors, shapes, and textures in other materials to set off the flowers you might want to highlight. Choose material that will give you the elements you need for the design you want to create. Some other considerations, long-lasting vase life for the flowers and contrasting foliage, color combinations that will provide harmony and contrast, and high-quality flowers and foliage that are free of disease, insect, or mechanical damage. Now let's talk about containers. Some arrangements hide the container. The main concern will be choosing a container of the size and shape needed. And the container must hold water without leaking. So the floral arrangements we make every year for Christmas, you typically cannot see the container underneath, but you can pour water over top of your greens or flowers to make sure that they are continuing to grow throughout that winter season. So the vase or bowl used to hold your arrangement can become a part of the design, as you can see on this upright design on your right in a vase. Consider the design elements of color, texture, shape, and size of the container. Container color should be compatible with the arrangement, should not clash with the flowers or other plant material, should not draw attention away from the others. Neutral colors are often best, an off-white, tan, beige, green, or gray. And bright colors or a busy pattern will distract from flowers or other features. But do not let that detract from your design. If you want to use a really fancy vase, just make sure you're choosing flowers that either compete with it or can sometimes overshadow it. So what about shape? Depends on the shape of the design you're planning to create. And some typical container shapes include a tall rectangular vase, a tall columnar vase, a low round bowl, and a shallow rectangular bowl. And what about size? Depends on the size of flowers and size of the arrangement you're creating. The arrangement should be about 1.5 times the height and 1.5 times the width of the container. So organized fasteners and tools, some fastening systems, wire holders and needle points held in place with floral clay, shredded styrofoam, or blocks of floral foam. Wire holders made from floral wire netting, folding 2 or 3 times over. Straight wire 16 to 24 gauge for supporting stems. And some of the tools to cut and shape flowers, plant materials, and wire fasteners. Some useful tools: a sharp knife, hand pruning shear, tin snip, or wire cutter. So how to handle flowers with care. Cutting plant material. For longest lasting arrangements, do not cut flowers or other live plant material until you're ready to put it all together. So you want to keep those in their original shape for up until the point where you're going to start creating your arrangement. The best time to do this or make cuts is in the early morning or late evening. Typically in the day is whenever sun is the strongest or it might be the warmest out. Flowers typically like to be in cooler weather whenever they're cut and just getting ready to use. So hot part of the day is time to avoid. When you're choosing flowers, you want to choose flowers that have just opened or are about to open. Some flowers such as Chrysanthemums, however, will not finish opening under normal room conditions unless they are at least half open when cut. So be aware of different types of flowers and make sure you're doing your research. So some more tips here: use sharp tools and make slanting cuts for better water absorption. Avoid bruising or breaking stems. And then the bottom line here, the steps you need to go through are making a design plan, selecting plant material, selecting a container, organizing fasteners and tools, and then handling your flowers with care. So that is all I have for this presentation. We're going to be practicing floral arrangements in class here. So if you have any questions, please give me a call down at Landscape Design Classroom, and have a great day, folks.